everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in a previous video I asked you guys if you wanted to see some of the old bags that I used to own. I think they might be considered vintage at this point. I looked up what vintage meant and it's not actually 20 years anymore. It seems like if it's over 10 years old then it's considered vintage. So I have a bunch of bags that my mom was able to find for me at her place that I had back in like maybe the late 2000s and early 2010s. So I wanted to show that to you guys since you seem to be interested. So I'm just going to get straight into it. Starting from this one that I think might be visible in the screen already. So this one, actually I think this is technically my mom's. We shared it at one point. So this is from Coach. I can't remember what the style is called anymore. It's sort of like this, I don't know, like top handle satchel style bag. There's this removable shoulder strap and it is, well, I feel like it's discolored a little bit, but it used to be this kind of like lilac-y lavender color. It's funny how I actually have a bag that's in this color currently. So this, like I mentioned, it's both mine and my mom's at one point. And kind of like the memorable thing that happened with this bag is we actually took this with us to China for vacation, like right after I graduated from high school. And like you see right here, this shoulder strap, it's not actually adjustable and it's not that long, but she was carrying this as a crossbody bag. And this was through like customs and airports and train stations and everything. So I can't remember, I think it was at a train station. And she had this crossbody, but she had to like keep taking it off to go through security and whatnot. So somewhere along the way, she was wearing a pair of diamond earrings and she lost one of them.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry, my diamond earrings!
The next one that is a very similar style is actually this one right here. This one's from Marc Jacobs, and as you can see, they look so similar, don't they? I clearly had a thing for this style of bag. So this one I actually know the name of. This one is called, actually now that I think about it, I'm drawing a blank with what the name is called. I think it's called the Classic Q Groovy bag. This was marked by Marc Jacobs, like back in the day when they were so popular. And the funny thing is I actually saw this article that said that they were re-releasing some of these Marc Jacobs bags from this specific line. Not this specific bag though, but this is a very similar bag to that Coach one that I just showed you guys. There's a tag right here, like that metal plaque that was on a lot of Marc Jacobs bags. And then I believe there should be a shoulder strap in here. So if I recall correctly, yeah, so this strap is actually adjustable. And on the inside, it says Marc Jacobs all over it. There is, let's see, there is one open pocket, one zippered pocket. This is the only Marc Jacobs bag that I still have right now. But the funny thing is that I remember back in high school, there was this one Marc by Marc Jacobs store. It was almost like a souvenir store, but it was in the West Village in New York City. I believe it was on Bleecker Street. And they had these a bunch of different things like scarves, tote bags, random like little like knickknacks, and they sold these Marc by Marc Jacobs branded stuff at that store for like so cheap. They had this tote bag that was like $15, and I remember it was like all the rage in high school. So many people had that, and nowadays I am not into lining up to purchase anything whatsoever, but I remember back then I would go there after school and line up because I really wanted that tote bag. It took me quite a few visits to actually get my hands on the tote bag, but I remember specifically lining up to get that $15 tote bag, and I eventually got it, but now I don't have the tote bag anymore. And it's funny because now Marc Jacobs has like this tote bag that they sell for like a couple $100s. It doesn't look anything like the one that they sell now, but it was very similar just because there was like branding all over it. It was like a canvas bag and whatever. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below if you are or were living in New York City and you remember the store, because I don't think it exists anymore. So I am a big fan of mini size bags nowadays, and it's funny because even when I was much younger, aside from the ones that I already showed you, aside from that, I seem to have been a big fan of mini size bags even back then, smaller than I even use nowadays, because I have these two wristlets from Coach, and I actually think that there were a few more wristlets that I used to own from Dooney and Burke, and I can't find them, but I will leave a picture up on the screen right now of what they look like. I think they still make something similar. And it's funny because one of those wristlets was this kind of like multicolor monogram design, and I think that probably came out around the time when the Louis Vuitton multicolor thing came out. I wonder if it was kind of like a dupe in a way, or they somewhat, you know, just like jumped on that trend. I have no idea. I didn't even know that the Louis Vuitton multicolored monogram thing was such a big trend back then. I just like the pastel colors on this wristlet. But anyways, back to the ones that I do have. So I have these two right here. This one is a little bit smaller than this one, just like by a little bit. But basically this used to cost, I think this was like $40 back then. I have no idea what something similar would cost nowadays, but this is like this black color with this kind of like silvery Coach signature pattern on it. And it's just like this really simple wristlet. And I don't even know, I remember, well, phones back then were super small, so of course that would easily fit in here. I don't know if my current phone would actually fit in something like this. Inside it is this pretty purple lining. There's no pockets or anything on the inside. Super simple, but I believe this was the first Coach item that I bought. And it's funny because this I remember owning, but what I don't remember owning is the matching coin purse. I have no idea when I got this. It is the same exact pattern, but I don't think I bought them at the same time. I don't know what this would be called. Maybe this is a key holder instead. I don't know. There's this key ring here. There's this one little slit compartment on the front, and then this zipper compartment on the inside, also with that pretty purple lining. And then there's a bit of leather on the base of this, and this, oh actually this is not leather, this is like satin, but the base is definitely leather, and then the zipper pull is leather. Back then, going into Coach was like really intimidating for me because I was in high school, and you know, that was like a pretty fancy store for a high schooler to go into. So yeah, I remember kind of like walking back and forth outside the store, being scared to enter it. They probably thought I was a little bit crazy because I was literally pacing back and forth outside the store for a while before going in. And then this other wristlet, surprisingly, I remember this retailed for significantly more than that. I want to say like this was close to maybe like $100, and this was actually a gift from my friends for one of my birthdays. I don't remember which birthday, but I remember that was the year that Kung Fu Panda came out, because I went to watch a movie with my friends that year for my birthday. And this is kind of like this patchwork denim pattern. Honestly, this looks really nice. Like I look at this now and I still think it looks pretty nice. And not to mention, this whole like patchwork denim thing is back this year, which is kind of funny that, you know, something like this really came back in trend, because back in the 2000s this was such a big thing. And it has this brown leather trim on it, and this one has these antique gold details versus the silver ones on the other wristlet. And then this one actually has this extra pocket on the inside. It is this blue satin lining, similar to the colors of the denim. I don't think I use this one quite as much. I kind of still am, but I used to be the type of person that if I really like something, I would not use it because, you know, I wanted to keep it pristine. But I should have used it more. I honestly should have used it more. And then the last item that I have to show you guys is another wallet from Coach. Now this one, I at first did not remember owning, but once I saw it, I actually remember this wallet, and I'm looking at it right now, and this is really well used because there is so much wear and tear on this. A lot of the leather on the trim is like discolored and kind of like rubbed off, peeled off or whatever. So this is also in like a Coach canvas, but the C's on this is different than like their signature canvas. So if you look at this one, it looks kind of different. So I think this is still very classic. They still do use this kind of pattern, but not this one anymore. And let's see, this is just like a really slim wallet. I thought there might be money in here, but there's nothing. So there's this little coin pocket over here, and then on the inside, this little slot for your ID, cards, and then cash over here. So yeah, this is the last of the items I have to show you guys, but there are a few other things that I wanted to just mention that I used to own. So one of them is Longchamp bags. Those kind of like nylon Le Pliage tote bags. I think I used to own like, I could think of like 3 of them off the top of my head. There was this gray one, similar to this kind of gray actually. There was this, I think it was called like Bilberry. That was the official name for the color. It was kind of like this dark purple plum color. And then at one point, I also had this kind of like cornflower blue color too. And those bags are really, really easy to use. They're lightweight and everything, but the wear and tear on those is honestly not that great because the corners always wore down. The ones that were closer to my body, it always wore down, and that button on the back of the bag always rubbed against my clothes and the clothes would pill and whatever. But aside from that, those bags were really great. I also had this Tory Burch kind of like a little crossbody bag that was made out of like Saffiano leather kind of. That one I used a lot when I was first working. And oh yeah, there was also this Michael Kors one. I know the name is called Selma. I don't think they make it nowadays, but I feel like even now people still really love that bag and look for it on the resale market. That one I definitely sold. I remember selling for not that much of a loss. So I had that one in navy, and that bag I honestly didn't use that much. It was a present from my brother and my sister-in-law. I just never used it. That was also in kind of like a Saffiano leather type thing too, and it was just so rigid. I don't know, clearly I had that at around the same time that I had this bag, and I just always used this one and I never used that one. This is about all I remember, all I have to show you guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope it was interesting for you guys to see what my handbag collection used to look like back in the day. And if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Leave in the comments down below, what were the first bags you bought? What was kind of like your gateway into buying luxury handbags, designer handbags? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing for new videos every single week on luxury and fashion. And I'll leave 2 videos on the screen for you to watch next, so I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.